everyone, welcome to Coding Central. This is my first video for the channel and I can't wait to embark on this new journey with you. In this channel, I'll be guiding you through coding, teaching you how to make your own website and apps, and I'll also be explaining UX design in great detail. Today I'll be giving you a glance of computer science and what to expect. So let's begin. So for today's objective, I'm going to be giving an introduction to computers featuring some key terms. Then I'll be transitioning into talking about binary numbers and decimal numbers. And then I'll be also sharing how to convert between the two numbers along with examples. I'll also be sharing some computer programming languages such as Python and Java. I'll be giving an introduction of both languages along with some examples. And then I'll be wrapping up the video. Here's a brief introduction to computers and some key terms to keep in mind. A program is a set of instructions that a computer follows in order to perform a task, also known as software, which controls everything that a computer does. Software has two categories, application software and system software. Application software is a computer program that makes a computer helpful in performing everyday tasks, such as writing emails or creating Word documents. System software, on the other hand, is programs that manage a computer. For example, a software tool used to help and modify software programs. Hardware, on the other hand, is physical components that make up a computer. For instance, main memory, CPU, and input and output devices. I'll be talking a little bit about these components later on in the video. Now I'm going to be talking about decimal numbers. These are numbers used in our everyday lives, and it can be from anywhere between 1 to 9. Some examples include 3, 15, 11, 76, and 3, 2 repeatedly. Binary numbers, on the other hand, is a number that contains only ones and zeros, and it has no limitations. So here's an example of a binary number. Notice how it only contains zeros and ones. So that's the difference between a decimal number and a binary number. On the next slide, I'm going to be talking to you about how to convert between the two numbers, along with some examples. So let's continue. In order to convert between a binary to a decimal number, you have to count the powers of 2 from right to left of the binary number, and then add up all the numbers to get your final answer. So let's break this down and review some examples. So for our first example, we have the number 1010, which is a binary number since it includes ones and zeros. So, as per the rule, we would have to do it based on the right to the left. So our first number, which is on the right, is 0. As you can see, this is our first number, so we'll be focusing on 0 right now. Then the next step is by counting the powers of 2 from that number. So using 0, we would have to multiply 2 to the power of 0. Now the reason why I'm multiplying 2 to the power of 0 is because based on the placement of the value, the first number on the right will always remain as the 0 position. And then the next number would be 1, 2, then 3. We'll get to that later. But for now, you have 0 times 2 to the power of 0. So 2 to the power of 0 equals 1. So that's why you'll have 0 times 1. Then you would just have to multiply these two numbers, and you'll end up getting 0. The next number on the list is 1. Using the same method, we would have to multiply 1 times 2 to the power of 1 this time, since the positioning is at 1. So the first position would be 0, then 1 would be 1, the next would be 2, then the other number would be 3. So 2 to the power of 1 equals 2. So now we have 1 times 2. 1 times 2 equals 2. So that'll be your answer. The next number on the list is 0. We're going to be doing the same method. So you have to multiply 0 times 2 to the power of 2 since the positioning is at 2. Then you'll get 0 times 4 since 2 to the power of 2 equals 4. And then your answer to that would be 0. Now the last number is 1. And since it's at the last position, the position is 3. So you'll have 1 times 2 to the power of 3. And 2 to the power of 3 equals 8. So now you'll have 1 times 8, which equals 8. Now we're not done yet. We're almost done. But you have to remember to add up all these numbers. You have to remember to add up all these numbers so you can get your final answer. So add up 0 plus 2 plus 0 plus 8. And your final answer will be 10. So this is your final answer after adding up all these numbers. And yeah, you did it. Now just note that, as I've mentioned before, you would have to convert using the power of 2 from right to left, not the other way around, because then that would just mess up with the order and you would not get the same answer. All right, let's continue with another example. As promised, here are more examples. In this problem, we're going to be doing 10, 10, 11. Remember to always do the power of 2 from right to left. With that in mind, let's continue and do the same method as the first problem. So in this case, the number 1 is our first number that we're going to be dealing with. So we have number 1 over here, and we have to multiply by the power of 2 based on the positioning. The number 1 in this case is in the position 0, so you're going to be multiplying 1 times 2 to the power of 0. 2 to the power of 0, or any number to the power of 0 in this case, is 1. So with that in mind, we'll be having 1 times 1, which equals 1. Let's continue. The next number on the list is also 1. So we have 1 over here. But in this case, the positioning moved up 1. So now it's number 1. So now we're going to be multiplying 1 times 2 to the power of 1. And then you would get 1 times 2 since 2 to the power of 1 is 2. And then the answer would be 2. Our next number is 0. With the same method, we're going to be multiplying 0 times 2 to the power of 2 since the positioning of 0 is at 2. 2 to the power of 2 is 4. So you would get 0 times 4, which equals 0. Then the next number is 1. Following the same set of rules, we have to multiply 1 times 2 to the power of 3, since the positioning is at 3. 2 to the power of 3 equals 8. So you'll get 1 times 8, which equals 8. The next number on the list is 0. So we'll have 0 times 2 to the power of 4, since the positioning is at 4, and 2 to the power of 4 equals 16. So you'll have 0 times 16, which will equal 0. And last but not least, you have the number 1, and the positioning is at 5, so you'll have to multiply 1 times 2 to the power of 5, which equals 32. So 1 times 32 will equal 32. And after all these multiplication, you would have to add up all the numbers, add up all these numbers in order to get your final answer. So add up 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 8 plus 0 plus 32, and your final answer will be 43. So this is your final answer. Now I'm going to be giving you guys a simpler example since I've been giving more of the longer numbers. So let's try number 11 this time. So based on the rule, we would have to do it from right to left. The rules never change regardless of the length of the numbers, so it'll always be the same. So from right to left, it's number 1. So we'll have 1 times 2 to the power of 0, since the first number is always going to be in the position 0. And as mentioned, 2 to the power of 0 equals 1. So now you'll have 1 times 1 equals 1. Now the next number is also number 1. And so with that, we're going to be multiplying 1 times 2 to the power of 1, which will then equal 2, since you have to multiply 1 times 2. Then after all that, you would have to add up these two numbers, 1 plus 2, and your final answer will be 3. Good job! You just finished your first set of examples. Now we're going to move forward and talk a little bit about some of the programming languages that you'll be learning about soon. Let's go ahead. Computer programming languages that this channel is going to be focusing on is Python and Java. So in the next set of slides, I'm going to be giving a brief introduction of both languages along with some examples. So let's continue. Here's an introduction to Python. Python is a computer programming language that is generally used for coding websites and software. It is one of the most easiest coding languages to learn, and it's great for beginners. Fun fact, you can also create games using Python, which I'll be showing later on. Python also includes a set of Python libraries, which is a set of codes that makes it easier for a user to do everyday tasks. It can also be used for making tons of games. One example of a Python library is known as Turtle. Turtle is a Python library that is great for a beginner coder learning how to make a simple game. In the next slide, I'm going to be showing you a little piece of how a Python code looks. So let's continue. Here's a sneak peek of how a Python code actually looks. So in this example, I used the Turtle Python library to code my own Pong game. Also, please keep in mind that I'll definitely show an in-depth view of how to code a Pong game using Turtle very soon, so stay tuned for that. Now let's transition into learning more about Java. Let's go. Java is more advanced than Python, and it's used to create mobile apps, web apps, and games. While Python is easier to learn, Java actually carries a far better and easier way to understand the set of rules. But also, like Python, you can create games using Java. In the next slide, I'm going to show you a small snippet of how a Java code looks. So let's continue. So in this example, I decided to share a simple code on how I use Java to input the name of a racehorse, the color, the year it was born, and the number of races it took part in. After inputting the information like the name, the color, the year, and the set of races that it did, you would have to run it, and then it'll pop up right here in the bottom, and it'll basically share like all the information that you inputted. But please keep in mind, I'll definitely share a step-by-step tutorial on how to code in Java very soon, so please stay tuned. Now, let's move on to wrapping up this whole video. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. So here's a brief little wrap-up of what you learned so far. So far, you learned some key terms that make up a computer, such as hardware and software. You learned that software is what controls whatever the computer does, and it's divided into two main categories, such as application software and system software. You also learned more about hardware, which are the components of a computer that includes main memory, which stores the computer's memory, and a CPU, which helps run programs. You also learned more about decimal numbers, which are from 1 to 9, and binary numbers, which are ones and zeros. You also learned a little bit about converting between the two numbers and learned that you have to use the power of 2 from right to left and add up all the numbers in order to get your final answer. I also gave a brief introduction on Python and Java, including some coding examples. And as I've mentioned earlier, please keep in mind that I will be showing more examples, including the ones I showed in this video, and I'll be including a step-by-step tutorial on how to create your own Pong game and how to use Java. That's all for today. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. Before I end this video, I would like to leave with a few words. Remember to always conquer your fears and never give up. Coding is not an easy task, but you'll realize that it's okay to mess up because that's what coding is all about. You'll learn from your mistakes and grasp this concept. So please don't ever feel like you're not doing well because you have a light inside of you that will never fade away. You'll be the brightest star in your computer science journey, and you'll stand out. So please don't feel discouraged if you're stuck. It's all a part of the process after all. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.